Greetings, my friends, and welcome to another Superchat Square Up edition, Volume 13. As you know, or should know, if you've ever watched my channel, we leave no Super Chats behind. And so, when an episode ends, and we have some Super Chats left over, I go ahead and make another show. This one not live, but almost exactly like live. And I put it on Harvey's channel, The Harvey Zone, and it is there for all of you to enjoy. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This particular edition of Superchat Square Ups is from my July 5th live stream, and I apologize for it taking this long. I really don't mean for it to, but I had a week when I was out. And so that's basically what happened, but it will not happen again. It will not be the norm. And I want to thank you all for your support and your patience. Without further ado, let's get started. Captain Spire with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Captain, who says, ironic how they say it shouldn't matter what race, gender a character can be, but we need to make it anything but a white male/female. Yeah, well, it shouldn't matter, but it does to them. It matters incredibly much to them. They are the true racists and sexists. You know, we wouldn't get away with having the reverse true of people of color if we said, oh, it doesn't matter what character this is, but we just got to make sure that they're not of color. Well, see, that doesn't work. That there is sexism and racism, but that's exactly what they feel entitled to do where white people are concerned. And they wonder why we can't get over racial and sexual politics in this country. It's because when one side or the other starts making progress, then the opposite side goes ahead and stirs things up. Now it is on the left stirring things up, trying to basically shame everyone into submission. But Doomcock knows no shame. Doomcock is an island unto himself. Doomcock is the future ruler of Earth, and what he says fucking goes. Thank you, Captain Spire. Classic Comics with a $5 super chat. Hail Classic Comics, who says, hail my liege. A pity you don't have a Tantalus field like Mira Kirk. Then you could destroy your enemies at your leisure and wouldn't need Harvey. Well, who's to say that I won't eventually develop a Tantalus field? Although, how that thing would work, I mean, I can't even imagine. You know, Classic Comics, how would you have this kind of camera view, this omnipresent view, where it could go anywhere, see anything, even in a closed room and behind a locked door? That is some weird tech. That's almost like magic. But if there is a way to do it, my technicians will find it. I will discover it. Maybe I need an all-seeing eye of Agamotto, then hook it up to a TV screen. That might work. And then wire 50 gigawatt laser to the eye of Agamotto. But chances are you might get a late eye of Agamotto. You know, it might just zap it out of existence. I really don't know. But damn, Classic Comics. I never contemplated the advantages of having a good Tantalus field of my own, and now you've got this idea in my head and it's going to be hard to let go. God, I'd love a Tantalus field. Woo! Imagine the girl watching you could do. That's right. In some ways, I'm worse than Mirror Universe Captain Kirk. I like to look at the girls. Terrible use of the Tantalus field. Thank you, Classic Comics. Remington 3666 with a $25 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Remington, who says, hey, Lord Doomcock, I finally started The Expanse. You're right. It kicks ass. I'm hooked. Almost done season 3. Since I watched that now, you have to start The Last Kingdom. Else I'm going to have to keep sending you money and bugging you. Hail. Fair enough, Remington 3666. I tell you, I recently got not only the boxed series set of Blake 7, but I also went ahead and subscribed to BritBox. And now, because of that, I am watching every single Doctor Who, a vintage Doctor Who anyway. I mean, I've seen all the modern ones, except up until Matt Smith and, Clara, when I was driven away in disgust. But, I'm going to methodically go through all of them. It's going to be heaven. But Remington3666, I have been looking for a new binge-worthy show on Netflix, so I will go ahead and start that, sir. Nevertheless, feel free to keep sending me money and bugging me. Thank you, Remington3666. No, I've heard it's really good, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Hamlet's Tragedy 89 with a $2 Canadian Super Chat. Thank you, oh tragic one, who says, hey, do you have a favorite Harryhausen film, Lord Doomcock? God, that's a tough call. I mean, I really love them all. I guess my favorite Harryhausen film would be The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. You know, that had some great effects, and of course, I believe that was the one that Tom Baker was in. So yeah, I mean, I have a big soft spot in my heart for that. Also, oddly enough, Clash of the Titans. It's really corny, cheesy fun, but it has, Sir Laurence Olivier, slumming as Zeus, an all-star cast. Had some wonderful, had the, Medusa and the Pegasus. It's a great movie. So, it's a tough call, though. Then you've got, Earth versus the Flying Saucers. You've got, with the Emir, which is absolutely fabulous. Even the Valley of Gwanji. Jesus, so many great things. But I tell you what, the warrior skeleton springing from the earth is so damn cool. I can never get that scene out of my head. I think that's one of my favorite Harryhausen scenes of all time. But it's tough. I can't really say Hamlet's Tragedy 89, but I appreciate your super chat and provoking a little thought in my metal-crowned head. Thank you, sir. Bovine D. Herder with a $2 super chat. Thank you for the $2, sir. Didn't say anything, but tipped the kitty. Keeping the lights on here in Xanadu. Thank you, Bovine D. Herder. Michael Maloney with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Michael. Oh, Legionnaire Maloney, who says, good night, oh evil overlord. See you Sunday. Hail, Michael Maloney. Sir, it is always great to see you. And welcome again to Xanadu. It is so great to have you there. Bruce Lombardo with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Bruce, another of my Legionnaires, who says, what is your thoughts on Mad Magazine? Well, I tell you, I always loved Mad Magazine, as a kid. I think that it used to be truly great. And of course, the Mad Comics, Harvey Kurtzman's run of Mad Comics was legendary. So the funniest shit ever printed in comic book form. Smartest, funniest, coolest, outstanding stuff. So I have not read Mad Magazine fresh off the newsstand. I don't even know. I don't know, since the 90s. So I have no idea what was going on with it. I don't know if it was woke or had gone political. I mean, it was always somewhat political, but it was more like counterculture than taking a left wing or a left wing or a right wing stance. It was more just kind of political and in terms of being kids versus the adult world, hippies versus the establishment, stuff like that. And I dug that. I thought, that was a cool kind of counterculture-y glimpse into another strata of life. As a kid, I found it immensely amusing, and the film parodies were always so sharp. So I can't really say. I mean, ultimately, I guess I'm sorry. I'm sorry it went. And others, I don't know. I've heard things that, they got woke, they were political and all this crap. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But yeah, it's a shame. It really is a shame. That's in my opinion. Thank you, Michael Maloney. Oh, excuse me, Bruce Lombardo. Excuse me. Thank you, sir. Vienna Wells with 2 €5 super chats. Thank you, Vienna Wells, and hail to you. Thank you for those. Vienna says, good remake, besides Maltese Falcon, is Scarface, The Man Who Knew Too Much, The Magnificent Seven. Although I love Kurosawa's. I forgot Front Page is a good remake, but His Girl Friday will always be the best. Well, yeah, Scarface is a great remake. I think it's probably superior to the original. The Man Who Knew Too Much, same thing. The version with Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day is the definitive version in my book. Now, The Magnificent Seven, I don't know. I mean, that was a modern day remake, and I haven't seen it. I doubt that it's as good as the original Magnificent Seven. And Front Page, yeah, sure, absolutely. That was an updated version of that movie. His Girl Friday will always be the best. Well, Vienna Wells, I think you have excellent taste. There are rarely good remakes, rarely, but they are few and far between. So, the things that you cited are pretty much the exceptions that prove the rule. And I would also point out that The Man Who Knew Too Much, it was Hitchcock remaking Hitchcock. And that's always interesting. That to me is a justified kind of application of the remake. When an artist who did the original is going ahead and revisiting that material in order to perfect his vision of it or her vision of it, I think that's valid. It goes along with my rules of canon, where the only one who can make adjustments to canon afterwards is the creator of the work. The inventor of it, the creative talent that manifested it in the first place. In that case, it would be Gene Roddenberry in Star Trek, for example, could go back and retcon things and say, well, it was the Klingons that actually invented cloaking technology first. Then I would say, okay, well, then he's done a do-over. That's part of respecting an artist. But a corporation is not an artist. And when they make changes, it's usually just for cheap, sleazy profits, or because they just don't know any better and could care less. Thank you, my friend, for those super chats. Savage Rush 012 with a $5 super chat. Hail Savage One, who says, set Harvey's containment apparatus to disengage when the sun dies. The irony. Oh, Savage Rush 012, how evil you are. Yeah, I think you're a supervillain in your own right.
Wait, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, he's saying go ahead and set your containment field to disengage and free you when the sun dies.
When the sun dies?
Yes.
So that would screw me.
Yes, it would.
I would get out and there would be nothing left. Everyone would be freezing. It'd be a dying planet.
Yeah.
So nobody would care if I rampaged.
No, they wouldn't give a damn, Harvey.
You're an evil son of a bitch. Savage Rush 012, an evil son of a bitch.
I agree. Isn't it wonderful? Hail Savage Rush 012. What a nasty and wicked thought. I love it. Myken Ayers with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Myken, who says, as potentially harmful, I feel Last Jedi could be. I don't believe Star Wars is yet at the point of no return. I still enjoy 70 to 80% of Disney Star Wars. Well, good for you, Myken. I'm certainly not going to attack you or slam you for that, brother. I can't. For me, the Star Wars was, and always will be about the Skywalker clan. And I tell you, we've gone over this over and over again, but the fact that they had a chance to put Han, Leia, and Luke on screen at the same time and put them together for another final adventure, and they didn't. They denied us that pleasure, just as kind of a middle finger to the fandom, I guess. I don't know what the fuck else it could be. I'm absolutely disgusted by it, Mike, and I cannot forgive it. And so for me, Star Wars is dead, for me. But, others can feel differently. I just feel like Star Trek could possibly go forward with a brand new series and a brand new creative team because it's a much broader universe. But yeah, what they did to the original trilogy characters in Star Wars crushes its spirit. So you're right. I mean, they could explore different corners of the universe, like the midi-chlorian or the Mandalorian or whatever the fuck they're calling it. I won't be watching it, but yeah. I mean, they could, but it's just, what is the point? I guess is the question. You don't believe Star Wars is yet at the point of no return. Well, I think Star Wars is at the point of so what? Thank you, Mike and Ayers. Bruce Lombardo again. Thank you, Bruce, with its $2 super chat, who says Star Wars 9, the cleaner, more budgety version of Serenity. Yeah. If those rumors are true, spoiler, cover your ears for the next 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this Star Wars 9 thing that I reported earlier. Starting now. If indeed Palpatine is like a hologram or a recording that Kylo Ren is watching, and the whole plot is it concluded with Rey broadcasting the story of Luke Skywalker over the Death Star antenna, like people wouldn't remember about the Jedi and Luke blowing up the Death Star and shit. Yeah, basically, it's the broadcast end of Serenity. And I think it's going to be absolutely painful, Bruce. Absolutely painful. Thank you, my friend. And Legionnaire. Basil, another Legionnaire with a $2 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Basil. Says, Rey is a mermaid, but with the fish part on top. Jeez. Oh,
It's pretty good.
yeah. Oh, Basil, you never fail to entertain and you never disappoint. Thank you so much, Basil, for the super chat and the laugh. Jesus Christ. You guys are the best. And thank you again for your patience. I'm so sorry it took me so long to get this banged out, but not so long in the future, I promise. What is the Matrix with a $5 super chat? Thank you, sir. Says, Hail Lord Doomcock. I lament that ideas like wokeness eclipse and insult genuine and important ideas of seeking and becoming enlightened. Well, absolutely. I mean, wokeness is really just another way of seeing the world compartmentalized into dualistic categories, isn't it? Because if you're woke, then you are essentially paying racism and sexism forward and just reversing it. You know, it really is. It's like becoming hypersensitized to the very things that we should be blind to, which is race and sex. It's absolutely astonishing to me that this shit is masquerading as progressiveness. It's not. It's regressiveness. It is going backwards. It is retrograde in enlightenment. And really, the best thing that we could do, what is the Matrix, is to see through duality and to come to an understanding of, beyond unity. The only way that you can express it is non-dualistic, and even that is flawed. There is no language that we can use to describe reality except to say what it is like. We can't say what it is, we can say what it's like, and we can only speak in terms of symbols, metaphors, and similes because our very thinking is mired in duality. But once you understand that you can never understand, and once you start trying to perceive the world as it is, not through the symbols of words and ideas that are bound in duality, only then will we actually become enlightened as a people and as a culture. Thank you. What is the Matrix? Bullvine the Herder, thank you for another $5 super chat. Hail Bullvine. Appreciate you very much, my friend. Cardinal Sin with a $4.99 super chat. Hail Cardinal Sin, who says, Hail Doomcock. Who do you think they will cast as Snow White? Idris Elba. It's going to be Idris Elba. Of course it is. You know it's true. They're going to put him, in a wig. I can't wait to see him in the puffy dress with the blue bodice. Yeah. Pure as the driven snow. Idris Elba. You watch. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Basil with a $2 Canadian super chat and an astute observation. Thank you, Basil. Says Melissa McCarthy is the female version of Kevin James. Spot on. Spot on, Basil. You could not be more correct. My God. Is there any room for debate? Look at them. Picture them both in your mind, side by side. And then I apologize to you for getting a headache. Oh, thank you, Basil, for that super chat. Loquacious Primate, another of my Legionnaires with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Loquacious One, who says, Hail Doomcock. I left you the info on the Richard Feynman QED book and lectures as a message on your Discord to investigate at your leisure. He's a very good teacher with a thick Brooklyn accent. Thank you, Loquacious Primate. I appreciate that very much, sir. I will, actually, maybe you could reshoot me that, Loquacious Primate, or send me a message on Discord, on Patreon, would you? That would be really the best way. I would appreciate that if you could pull that off, sir. I would like to look at this, and I will check it out. And, hell, I like Brooklyn accents, so I won't be put off by that at all. Thank you, Loquacious Primate. I will check that out, and I will get back to you. Scott Williams with a $5 super chat. Hail Scott, who says modern music is made by Chinese children in a sweatshop. Yes, and it shows, doesn't it? The joy and elan in modern music. It just shines through, doesn't it? Only captive Chinese children could possibly deliver such wonderful, soulful music. Yeah, I think you're onto something, sir. I think you're absolutely onto something. Thank you, Legionnaire Scott Williams. And I love your Prisoner avatar, sir. The greatest show in the world. I hate modern music. For those of you who don't recall the live stream that day, I was discussing modern music and my general contempt for it. Now, that's not every single piece of modern music. I mean, there's obviously always going to be good work being done. But in general, you know, the auto-tune stuff, the soulless kind of urban crap, I can't stand that crap. I can't stand it at all. So thank you very much for that super chat and allowing me to reiterate how much I hate modern music, especially rap music, which I spell with a silent C. Think about it. Daryl Rayner, Legionnaire and friend with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Daryl, who says, Hail my Legion Harvey, 9 to live action reboots, 9 to SJW wokeness, and certainly 9 to 9. Thank you, Daryl Rayner. Yes, 9 to 9. Without respect, we reject people. And by the way, I'm going to be talking about the goddamn Picard trailer on the Inquisition tonight on my channel at 8 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Pacific. I hope you guys will join me for that. Actually, I'll probably post this afterwards. It'll take a while to render. It's going to be a long one here. But anyway, thank you, Daryl. Appreciate that. Yes, keep that fire going, brother. Say 9 to 9 without respect. We reject. Kilroy was here with a $5 super chat. Hail Kilroy, who says, Hail Doomcock. This is a great future topic for our show. Sorry I didn't show up sooner. Work kept me busy and then I had chores after I got home. Thank you, Kilroy was here. Very much appreciate you popping in at all, sir. Late or early or just on time. Regardless, Kilroy was here. Kilroy is here. Kilroy will be here again. Thank you, my friends. And a lot of my Legionnaires are making something called the Common Man Cast right now. Check it out. They are on YouTube and anywhere that basically podcasts are marketed. Thank you, Kilroy was here. Common Man Cast, a great show. Party CV-san with a $1.99 super chat. Hail, Party CV, and thank you. Who says, JoJo is 5 seasons of fun 80s action/drama movies. Yes, Party CV. I have it on my list. I'm going to my list right now, and it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that he is talking about. It is on Crunchyroll right now, and fortunately I have access to Crunchyroll. I see it's also on Netflix and Hulu, so it's all over the place, and I am looking forward to checking it out. I will be doing so as soon as I can find a spare moment. Thank you, Party CV-san. John Glazner with a $10 super chat. Hail, John! Thank you, John. That's very generous of you, sir. And he says, vote Doomcock 2020. Was hoping to get your opinion on the New Hope SC-38 reimagined made by fans. This short scene alone should stay my lord's hand from the button. Yes, it was very nice. John, it was very nice. Beautifully done. It shows what inventive people can do with a little bit of skill and a whole lot of love. Now, the thing is, John, I don't think that scene cut into Star Wars would work very well because it's so stylistically apart from what George Lucas did in Star Wars. He took a very old-fashioned and I must say a greatly favored approach to my way of thinking, which was just basically keep the camera down. You might do a little panning or stuff, but you're not really tracking and doing big camera moves and stuff. You're allowing the action to unfold in front of the camera. And the New Hope scene with Vader and Obi-Wan dueling is so dynamically executed in a beautiful and very modern way, and actually superior to most modern films because they actually clearly storyboarded it and knew what the hell they were doing. They weren't just shaking the camera in dim lighting and calling it a sequence. Way better directed than most films these days. But I don't think it would cut in very well. So I think as a standalone, it is a masterpiece. And yeah, John, you make a good point. More than enough to stay my hand, even now with the car trailer out. Thank you, John Glazner. Bionic Belly Button with a $5 super chat and a hail Bionic one who says Temba, his arms open. Ah, yes, Temba, his arms open. Shaka, when the walls fell. Bionic Belly Button, thank you so much for your support at the lair. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for being you. Yes, Bionic Belly Button. What does it do? What does it do? When you push it, what does it do? I wonder. And I'll probably never know. That's the tragedy of it. Thank you, Bionic Belly Button. Daniel, not traveling tonight on a plane, but here with us now with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Daniel, who says, my rage is limitless at Disney, but I try to focus on other things, like the great trailer I just saw for Crawl. Giant alligator movie from Sam Raimi. Looks like wonderful giant animal throwback fun. Yeah, Daniel, actually, I saw that had just recently, like today, I mean, I guess this last Friday was released. This has been totally under my radar up until now. I had no idea this was being made. I didn't even know what it was about. But dude, Sam Raimi, hell yeah. I guess I'm going to have to go see me a good old-fashioned giant alligator movie. Damn. See? Some good retro fun like Stranger Things. I love it. You start getting enough of that vibe, that retro vibe going, and enough shows like Cobra Kai, and they just take root. Stranger Things it's popular, and then before you know it, maybe we start getting a rash of good old-fashioned throwback fun, which really is what the world needs now. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No. Needs more retro throwbacks because that's when they knew how to make movies. Thank you, Daniel. Bovine to Herder, dude, with another $5. Just donated, just given, didn't say anything. Bovine de Herder, I want to thank you so much for your generosity. I swear to God, that is so kind of you. Just wanting to support me. You don't even have anything that you're necessarily wanting to say. I just think that is so generous of you, Bovine de Herder, and I want to thank you so much for your generosity. Keeps us going around here. Kilroy was here. I told you he'd be here again. $5 super chat. Thank you, Kilroy, who says, man, you should totally do a live stream with me where we talk about music and sing a bunch of songs together for a few hours. Well, the problem is, of course, that unless that is public domain, then it gets shot down, shot through the heart, and we'd be to blame because, we were doing copyrighted stuff. Thank you, Kilroy was here. I agree. I would love to do live streams where I talk about music and sing a bunch of songs. I would love it. If I could, I would, but shoot. They stand in the way, don't they? They stand in the way. Thank you, Kilroy. Good point. Wayward Astronaut. with 2 super chats in a row. Very generous Wayward Astronaut with a $10 super chat and a $5 super chat. Very, very grateful for that, Wayward Astronaut. Thank you so much. Who says, "Hail Lord, I'm overjoyed to hear you'll be watching JoJo. Be forewarned, some find part 1, episode 1 through 9, to be a bit lacking. I think it's still, though, it's still fun, though, and the show finds its footing after that." Okay, well, now that's important because Wayward Astronaut, my time is very limited. Very, very limited. And so when I start watching something and it doesn't hook me in the first episode, maybe even the first half episode, if it's really not firing, I will switch. I'll just say, well, there's something else to do. But since you've told me that episodes 1 through 9 are a bit lacking, but that it pays off later, I'll be much more inclined to stick through it. So thank you, Wayward Astronaut, for that. And he says, he's correcting himself. I still think it's still good though, and the show finds its footing. Damn it! I tried to proofread that, and I still screwed up. Hey, listen, there are no screw ups. There are just happy accidents, and we're here painting with Doomcock. We're going to go ahead and do this wonderful tree now. This is a little tree here against this beautiful blue sky. And let's put a couple of happy squirrels in that tree. Little rascals are so cute. They're all out there. I tell you, I love these squirrels. They're little darlings. They're crazy. They steal your nuts, but they give you back so much love, don't they? But there are no mistakes. There's just happy accidents. And you just made a happy accident, and I appreciate that extra $5 on that super chat. Thank you, Wayward Astronaut. See? You helped out Xanadu. Your so-called mistake was a happy accident for keeping our lights on. Thank you, my friend. April T with a $20 super chat. April T, my God. Thank you so much for that. And April T says, "Hail Doomcock, hardest working man on YouTube." April T, that is so kind of you. I'm deeply appreciative. That was extremely, extremely generous. And it's really, if it is work, it's a labor of love. I'll tell you that. I've never had another job that was as much of a labor of love, of as much of me investing every part of me into it. There is no expression of me truer than Doomcock and this channel. And I am deeply touched that all of you care enough to partake in this channel, that you accept me at my truest self. I really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much, April. Cardinal Sin with a $1.99 super chat again. Cardinal Sin, who says, "Doomcock, that was amazing." Well, of course, I'm Doomcock. I don't know what you're referring to. Probably, was it like the singing? I think I did some singing. I think I did the national anthem. It was on July 4th, and I sang the national anthem. I think that's what that was. So, yeah, there we go. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. I appreciate your super chat, and I appreciate the high praise. I'm glad I didn't screw it up. Takes a lot of balls to sing the national anthem. It's a tough song to sing. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Bronze Division with a $20 super chat. Hail, Bronze Division, and thank you, sir, for your continued support and generosity. Who says, "Lord, about the song. You didn't mention the personal fear as well. The author was a prisoner on a British ship in that battle. If the fort had fallen, he'd be kept as a spy. If the attack lost, he'd be returned as a diplomat." Yeah, that's a good point, dude. I did not actually know that he was a prisoner on a British ship. I thought he was inside the fort observing the battle and wondering if he was going to survive. But he was wondering if he was going to survive, but he was already a captive. That's fascinating. God, the things you learn in these live streams. That's why, we really have the greatest chat in the history of the goddamn YouTube. Seriously, you guys are amazing. Yeah, listen, that song moves me greatly because of the questions it asks, questions that are still relevant today and will be relevant through the history of our nation in the future, because the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And I feel like people are not being vigilant enough these days. I really do. It's a great concern to me. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 20, 30 years. I'm quite concerned about the Constitution, about liberty, freedom of speech, and so on. We've just got to keep fighting for it, and we've got to keep sounding the alarm. To be Paul Revere on YouTube. That is our mission. Thank you, Bronze Division. Cold Fusion Waffles with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Cold Fusion Waffles, who says, if Stranger Things goes woke, nobody will blame you for hitting that button. TM. TM.
Thank you, Cold Fusion Waffles. You now owe me a nickel. TM.
You now owe me a nickel. TM is
Yeah, it's TM. You now owe me a nickel. TM. Also, where's my nickel? TM.
Boy, you're just busy. You're keeping the trademark office single-handedly busy, aren't you, Harvey?
I can't help it if everything that I say turns to gold. Back to you, Chet.
Thank you, Harriet.
Harvey.
Whatever. And thank you, Cold Fusion Waffles. Cardinal Sin with a $2.99 super chat. Thank you, Cardinal Sin, who says, how about the USWNT this year? Finals, baby. USWNT. Damn. Women's netcock tournament? What? I don't know what USWNT. It's probably something incredibly obvious. But you stumped me, Cardinal Sin. Listen, if they're your team, brother, hail, and go USWNT. I'm probably just being stupid. I just don't know. Women's Netflix team, US woke not team. So it's like a team of people who are like woke not. I don't know, dude. But thank you anyway. Sorry I let you down, but I'm glad that you're in the finals, brother. Hail and good luck. Crazy Pineapple with a $5 super chat. Hail, Crazy Pineapple. Thank you. Crazy Pineapple says, my liege, I stood at attention, placed my right hand over my heart, and sang the national anthem along with you. It's okay to support Bessie Ross. Yes, indeed. Support Betsy Ross, TM.
You beat me to it.
Yes, TM for Doomcock. Support Bessie Ross, TM, TM.
It's Betsy, not Bessie.
I said Betsy.
Well, but you said it kind of fast, so it sounded like Bessie. It sounded like you were saying support a cow named after Betsy Ross. It's Bet.
Yeah, I know, it's Betsy Ross. Fine. Damn. I kind of made it. It did sound a little like Bessie. Thank you for the correction, Harvey.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Crazy Pineapple, for that super chat and for being patriotic, damn it, on the 4th of July. Trevor McEwen with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Trevor, who says, please don't destroy the West Coast, my lord Doomcock with the button. Even though the West hosts Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I guess I'm fortunate I live far from Anaheim. Well, I'm not going to go ahead and destroy any particular patch of ground with the button, Trevor McEwen. If I unleash Harvey, it's all going up, you know? To quote the immortal Tom Lehrer, and if you've never heard Tom Lehrer, you must Google him immediately and listen to him on YouTube because he had some of the funniest songs ever written in history. We will all go together when we go, every Hottentot and every Eskimo. When the air becomes Uranus, we will all go simultaneous. We will all go together when we go.
Well, it won't be any Uranus, but you'll see my anus over you as I stomp your buildings and cities into dust.
And they'll look up and see Uranus.
That's right. Not the planet. My butt.
Do you even have a butt?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, thank you, Harvey.
Back to you, Chet.
No, not Chet.
You are Chet in my book. Chet, I says, pal.
Oh yeah, well, we'll talk about that later, Harvey. Thank you, Trevor McEwen. No worries, brother. We'll all go together if Harvey gets out. I have no way to target him to specific regions or locations. So as far as the West Coast is as safe as the East, is as safe as the Pole, which is to say not safe at all if they don't knock off this shit with Star Trek. It's really pissing me off. Thank you, Trevor. Liebermeister with a $9.99 super chat. Hail, Liebermeister, and thank you, says Hail. Let's talk disco. What's the possibility of a Doomcock dance hour? We need some funky town in the center of the earth. Thank you, oh Liebermeister, one of my legionnaires and Xanadumirs. Liebermeister, well, you know what? I think the possibility of a Doomcock dance hour is pretty good. Pretty good. We've got a Dick Doomcock Power Hour coming up. And, gonna have a little bit of fun. Probably another Doomcock Roundtable coming up here, too, before the end of the month. So, tons of opportunities for Funky Town to pop up in Xanadu. Funky Town comes to the center of the earth. Thank you, Liebermeister. A very, very generous $9.99 super chat. Brent Durr. Hail, Brent Durr, and thank you for the $1, brother. Putting it in the helmet. Didn't say anything, but appreciate the tip. Very, very much, Brent. Every single donation helps the cause. And I want to thank you, brother. I salute you. The Opinionated One with a $5 super chat. Hail, Opinionated One. Gosh, I think everyone here could be called an Opinionated One, couldn't they? But never mind. He embodies us all. Who says Facebook normies are already buying the Ariel casting criticism is racist narrative. Although, I don't know how many are taking it seriously. I don't use Facebook much. I don't use Facebook at all, the Opinionated One. Although I've got a Doomcock Army Facebook group that longs for my attention. And I need to go ahead and get on that. I just haven't had a chance, but I guess I'll have to make a bogus Facebook account. I really hate Facebook. I don't want to go on there, but I sure would like to visit my guys, so noblesse oblige. I guess we do certain things for our followers, and yeah. Expect me at some point, Doomcock Army. One day, the Messiah will come.
More like the mess, Sire. You're kind of a mess, Doomcock.
I'm not a mess. I've got my shit together.
You're kind of a mess, dude. Look around your lair. Look around your personal chambers.
Well, we don't talk about that.
It's like fucking Oscar, rooming with Oscar. A clone of Oscar. There's no Felix, just Oscar and Oscar. It's like the oddest couple. You gotta pick up around here, man. Comic books everywhere, toys, boxes that are open. Shit.
Well, there's no half-eaten food, though.
Well, okay, fine. But I bet you there's a goddamn flattened cat somewhere that's dried out and mummified. How are you gonna know? You need to lift up some of these stacks of stuff, dude.
I know. It's true. It's a fair cop. I'm more Oscar than Felix. Like 2-3 times Oscar. But, yeah. What can I say? I hoard cool shit. Thank you. Thank you, Opinionated One. Cardinal Sin with a $1.99 super chat. Hail, Cardinal Sin, who says, Doomcock, did you receive my UFO care package? Yes, I did, Cardinal Sin. I absolutely did. Thank you, sir. I am enjoying it greatly. I am getting through your DVDs and CDs one at a time. But I want to thank you so much for those gifts. Really appreciated, brother. You are one cool cat. We have got to hang out sometime and do impressions at each other. Brother Malachi with a $5 super chat. Hail, Brother Malachi, who says, I'm not going to lie. I'm pissed. This is a new low for the House of Rat. Destroying franchises is one thing, but this is an attempt at literal grave robbing. Yep. Disney is officially on my shit list these days. I find their activities disgusting. I cannot countenance anything that they are seemingly doing with pop culture these days. I am absolutely beside myself with disgust. Brother Malachi, you are right. to be angry. They are, Ollie and Ariel and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, The Lion King. They are just like a pop culture anti-life equation. They're just, I can't even find the words. It just, there's no word for just how fucked the House of Mouse is now. And, I share your disgust, Brother Malachi. Thank you for that super chat and for that very sane assessment. Cardinal Sin with a $1.99 super chat. Again, Cardinal Sin, thank you, sir. Who says, Doomcock, thank you for guarding children's dreams. It's the least you can do. It's the least that any decent person can do is to fucking give a kid who has died his last wish, especially if it costs you nothing. In Disney, it would cost you nothing. It would cost you nothing, and it would gain you a modicum of support from people for displaying just the tiniest bit of human emotion. But even that was beyond you, your black corporate hearts. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Oh, and another one from Cardinal Sin for $4.99. Thank you, sir. Who says, Doomcock, hell, let's wake Walt up. He's only frozen from the neck up. Well, actually, or maybe you haven't seen the thing about Walt Disney and the severed head. Harvey actually did a video mentioning it, that there's a problem with Walt's head. And it kind of explains why things have been so bad. So, yeah, watch that video. I'll go and see if Harvey may have forgotten to post it, or he may have only posted it at patreon.com/Doomcock, which sometimes happens. But I will have him go back and make it public for everyone. So look for that later on today. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Sabbath Storm, Legionnaire Storm with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Sabbath, who says, Hail Overlord. Could we try directing Harvey's containment field to encompass Disney HQ and Bad Reboot HQ? Maybe ruin Roundhead's house if it's close enough? I saw this earlier, and I was thinking about it, Sabbath Storm. And look, the problem is that there's a rift in the universe that I opened, okay? It's my fault. And so the containment field basically seals off that rift in our dimension. Not in Harvey's dimension. He's free to go into his own dimension as he will. But the problem would be essentially creating a tunnel, like a tube, over to a particular place. I mean, it'd have to be very narrow, because obviously if I just extended the field, then Xanadu would be in that field, and goodbye to all of us. But if you had like a series of rings that were like extruding force, and it basically like a little hamster tube.
Hey, watch it.
like a little habit trail for fucking hamsters.
Hey, I'm not your hamster, buddy.
Yeah, well, you kind of are, though.
I am not.
You kind of are.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. You're pissing me off, dude. Later.
Oh, I offended him. Ooh, he's gone back into his own dimension, see? Should take a picture of it. That way people will know that he's not in a goldfish bowl, like he always tries to say. Anyway, so you'd have to extrude this thing. But then, like any physical barriers in our universe would essentially be in the way. So we'd have to like drill a hole and stuff. I mean, it's complicated, but at least I've got this idea now. These kind of concentric rings forming a kind of a habit trail towards intended targets. I think that at least potentially could work. But anything is fraught, because the further out you extrude the power, the greater the chances that some weak link would happen, some segment would give out, and then he'd be loose, and then everything, kiss your posterior farewell. Thank you, Sabbath Storm. That's a good idea. I'm gonna think about that. But the difficulties are quite difficult. Yeah, I have to think about that. Basil is here with a $5 Canadian Super Chat. Thank you, Basil, who says, my liege, drop the whale from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on the button. So you want it emphatically pushed, Basil. You don't just want it kind of pushed. You want me to punch that sucker. You want me to really pound it. Let him out with a vengeance. Torpedo Harvey straight into our world to give him a head start on the destruction, right? Well, I can't say I blame you, dude. Things are bad. Things are very, very, very bad. And you have good taste, sir, for wanting nothing to do with it. Basil, thank you, sir. Cardinal Sin with a $1.99 Super Chat says, oh, it's on now. Doomcock's at the wheel. That's right. And I am driving this live stream, this Superchat Square Up Volume 13. I hope that you are enjoying this thus far. I hope it was worth the wait. I apologize for the wait. As I say again, it will not happen again. Not this long. This was a confluence of weird circumstances, but I deeply apologize for that, and I will do my very best to make sure that things improve from here on out. Out of Step with Reality with a $10 Super Chat. Hail Out of Step with Reality, who says, Hail Doomcock. Thank you for your honesty and being a genuine human. I'm proud to be a new supporter of you. Thank you very much, Out of Step with Reality. I am proud to be associated with people like you, sir. Or ma'am. I'm not sure which, whether man or a woman who's out of step with reality. But either way, you're a genuine human being, too. All of you guys are the best people that I never could have imagined that I would have met so many of you wonderful people, and that is the best part of all of this, and I'm just so grateful you all are here with me. I really am. Thank you, Out of Step with Reality. You seem pretty grounded to me, though. Psycho Dwarf 9 with a $2 Super Chat. Hail, Psycho Dwarf 9, who says, don't contact Klutzman without a boot scraper. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He is, boy, he's hip deep in it. You need not only a boot scraper, you need a hazmat suit. Because I tell you what, he lives in that shit. I mean, he lives in a world of shit. And he just kind of extrudes crap tentacles into ours, polluting franchise after franchise, project after project. How many franchises, projects, and films, how many must die at the hands of Alex Kurtzman before people will realize how toxic that guy is? Thank you, Psycho Dwarf 9. Cardinal Sin, my God, with a $9.99 Super Chat. Cardinal Sin, sir, you are too generous. Thank you, my friend. He says, good Dominions and Dumentites never contact anyone personally. That makes us trolls worse than they are. Don't contact anyone. That just brings you down to their level. Capiche? Yes. Earlier I was saying, look, I genuinely don't contact actors who, screw up parts or, I don't like their character or whatever. I just, look, we don't want to prove that we are, in fact, as bad as they've made us out to be in the Rose Tico stuff. They were saying that, like, the Hallie, whatever her name is, who's going to play Ariel, who is a person of color, it's not her fault. I mean, yeah, sure, she accepted the job and probably knew that she'd take some shit for it. But even so, I just don't, there were some reports that she's been contacted and hassled on Twitter and stuff. And don't do that. It's not cool. Good point, Cardinal Sin. Thank you very much for making it. Michael Maloney with a $5 Super Chat. Hail, Michael. Thank you, sir. Who says, Disney has grown very fascist over the years. When you are under contract to the mouse, you obey or pay the price. Yeah, well said. Well said. You really are kind of giving up a chunk of your sovereignty or personal sovereignty. You lose the right to speak out. You lose your right to speak your heart about the projects you're working on. You just have to toe the corporate line when you work with Disney. That's just the way it is. And I think it's a terrible regret, but what are you going to do? Yeah, Michael, I never would want to work for Disney. Never. Good God, how awful. Thank you, brother. And hail to the Legion. Chappie with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Chappie, who says some anonymous hero should respectfully tag the boy's tombstone with a Spider-Man stencil and spray paint. Screw Disney. Yep, I agree. Or hell, maybe the dad should, in disguise. Go ahead and just go ahead and put exactly what you want on that tombstone and or gravestone, whatever you call it. Listen, put Spider-Man on there. Ollie wanted Spider-Man. Spider-Man needs to be on there. I'm not advocating that. I'm not advocating anybody go and tag anything. But I think the young man deserves to have his say. I believe he needs that comfort in a life that gave him scant comfort. It's just a terrible, sad thing. And I wish people were still talking about it. I wish that the topic would not die, and I wish that Disney would have to bow down. But apparently they are truly deeply heartless, and despite the petitions and everything, they're just sticking by their guns. Despite the hypocrisy, despite the soullessness of it. Yeah. Fuck you, Disney. Makes me sick. Thank you, Chappie. John Glazner with another $10 super chat. Hail, John. Thank you, sir, very much. He says, Doomcock, have you seen the authentic Japanese live-action Rurouni Kenshin trilogy? I know we have to be skeptical of live-action remakes, but everything about this trilogy was damn near perfect. No, I have not, John. I have not, but I tell you what, I will go ahead and keep that in mind, and I'll see if I can track it down and take a look at it. See if it's on YouTube or Prime or Netflix, and I will let you know what I think, John. Appreciate that very much, John. Both the super chat and the tip. Cardinal Sin with a $4.99 super chat again. Cardinal Sin, dude, you are on fire. It's a pair of super chats, actually. One for $4.99 and one for $1.99. Thank you, Cardinal Sin, who says, Free Enterprise. Robert Meyer Burnett wrote and directed the movie. RMB is part of the intellectual dork web. Thank you, Cardinal Sin, for both of those super chats. Yes, Cardinal Sin has founded the intellectual dork web. And he got Robert Meyer Burnett to use the phrase, and now he is spreading it like a Johnny Appleseed of memes. Hail to the intellectual dork web. Hail to Cardinal Sin, and hail to Robert Meyer Burnett. What a cool guy. Out of Step with Reality with a $10 super chat. Hail Out of Step with Reality. And thank you again for your generosity. Out of Step says, what would your version of The Last Jedi be if you got up, write it? I guess you mean if I got the chance to write it. Well, I mean, that's impossible to say. I mean, I would scrap the whole thing. I would scrap The Force Awakens, because The Force Awakens was a hack job. Pure and simple. It was garbage. It was just basically rehashing what had come before. And I sure as hell would avoid that. I would probably do something more along the lines of, the new Jedi Academy has formed. Luke has been teaching the next generation of Jedi. And then some ancient evil arises from another corner of the galaxy and threatens all of them. I think that would be a much better kind of a plot. And so you've got all of his students, you've got him, you've got Han, you've got Leia, and you have a new rising of the dark side of the Force coming from an entirely unexpected part of the galaxy. I think that's basically the setup that I would do. But in my version of The Last Jedi would be a version that would not exist. I wouldn't make it. I would never make any form of The Last fucking Jedi. I guarantee you that, out of step with reality. But listen, the seeds are not there. You would just have to do a top to bottom reboot. Top to bottom. Thank you, Thank you for that super chat and the chance to say that. I think it's important. Michael Maloney with a $10 super chat. Hail Legionnaire Maloney, who says, won't you take me to Ginger Town? Won't you take me to Ginger Town? Yes, I want to live next door to Ginger Town. I want to go on nightly raids into Ginger Town. Yes. Redheads are beautiful. Redheads are gorgeous. At least redheaded women are. I don't know about the men. I don't care. I don't pay much attention to them. Thank you, Michael Maloney. Yes. Yes, Ginger Town. Ginger Town. Faith and Bigora. What a wonderful place. It's like Shangri-La with redheads. Stephen Klimecki with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Stephen, who says, I really appreciated your tributes to the late, great Leon Redbone a while back. I also was quite saddened to hear of his passing last month. A truly hip and unique, non-compliant fella in the best way. Yeah, man, he marched to his own drummer, didn't he? And I tell you, it was just the right time for him to be himself. He never pandered. He didn't do something because he thought it would be a good marketing scheme. I think he was being true to himself. And the Leon Redbone that we saw on stage was Leon Redbone. He had a wicked sense of humor. He was very iconoclastic. He was very much an individualist. And like R. Crumb, he liked the kind of music he liked. And he did it unapologetically. And I think he was aware that he was a little odd, but embraced it. And it just so happened that Saturday Night Live started right around that time. And they were in the market for a little odd. And they kind of launched Leon Redbone to national fame and stardom. And that's where I first discovered him. And yeah, the man was wonderful, and he will absolutely be missed. Thank you, Stephen, very much for that $10 super chat and for being a fan of Leon Redbone. David Sastra, my Legionnaire and friend, with a $2 super chat, who says, ever read the webcomic Chief O'Brien at Work? No, I've not. I never heard of it, David, but I will check that out. I will pop that into my browser here in a minute, and I will take a glance at it. Thank you, David. And if you don't hear back from me about it, shoot me a line. Just shoot me a message with a link to it on Patreon. Patreon.com/Doomcock, guys. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's got tons of exclusive content, hours and hours and hours and hours of it. We have a thriving community of people there, and it really is just a hell of a party. And we have live get-togethers multiple times a month. It's really, really something, and I hope that someday you can join us there. But yeah, shoot me that, dude, and I will take a look at it for sure. David Sims with a £5 super chat. Thank you, David, who says, Hail Doomcock. Just finished watching Dark on Netflix. Thanks for the tip. Hope all is well with you. Here's a tip for the jar, worth every penny. Wow. Well, that's wonderful, David. You beat me. I have not had a chance to finish Dark yet, but I was really, really liking it. And yeah, I recommend it. It seems to be atmospheric, intelligent science fiction. Not at all actually what I thought when I first saw it. I thought it was going to be some kind of, monster in a cave kind of thing, but it's not that at all. Very intelligent. Now, I will say it's very deliberately paced. It's a bit complex and it's a bit slow, but I like slow sometimes. I like narratives that don't hurtle at breakneck speed. I like traditional editing. Listen, different paces for different projects. If you can have the patience for this thing, I think you will be richly rewarded in the end. Thank you very much, David. Appreciate that. I'm glad you liked it, brother. Stephen Klimecki with another $5 super chat. Hail, Stephen. Thank you. Who says, soulless auto-tune crap. You got that right, brother. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Oh, God, I hate that crap. I'm a singer, so of course I hate it. I hate that soulless process. It's like the difference between, fresh cheese and Cheese Whiz from a fucking can. That's basically the difference between real music and auto-tune crap. 100%. Thank you, Stephen, for agreeing with me. Thank you for having a soul, brother. Thank you, damn it. Spock128, one of my Legionnaires with a $4.99 super chat. Hail, Spock! Says Tip Jar, thanks for the chat tonight. Oh, you're very welcome, Spock128. Thank you very much for that tip. Appreciated. Kyle Johnson with a $5 super chat. Sir, good to see you. Thank you. He says, Nerdrotic Raid. How did you feel about Stranger Things? I think he was asking he's come from Nerdrotic. Great. Well, Kyle, I really love Stranger Things. I found the little kid annoying. I find smart ass, too precocious for their age. I never like kids like that. I can't stand it. So, other than that, though, I enjoyed it. Does it make a lot of sense that the Russians would have a base under a mall? Do you know how long that shit takes to construct? How they managed it under the eyes of the country and the law and everything else, I don't know. How much money, a huge base, huge, in this little town under a mall. How they get there, I don't know. I don't care. Listen, it was a lot of fun. And I have no complaints about it. I really loved it, and I recommend it highly. Very, very highly indeed. Thank you, Kyle. Sternin Colonel with a €5 super chat. Hail, Sternin Colonel, who says it's pretty hard to keep politics and entertainment divided these days. It is. They make it hard. I mean, it's clear to me, Sternin Colonel, that now the powers that be view entertainment as propaganda. Pure and simple. They just see it as propaganda, and that's it. They are trying to engineer social change through subverting our treasured myths and our cultural heritage. And as long as I am kicking and on the air, I'm going to keep pointing it out every single damn time. It gets tiring. Frankly, it gets exhausting at times, but I will not stop. That, my colonel, I promise. Thank you, sir. Thomas Manthe with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Thomas, who says, do you think mermaid merchandise outsell Star Wars Rey merchandise, or it'll end up at the dollar store together? Yeah. Yep. I think that the merchandise will be doomed. I don't think that their target audience buys that much merch. And I think, listen, I heard some things about Star Wars merchandise that I can't say. I wish to God I could, because it's one of the funniest damn stories I've ever heard. God damn it, I just can't. But I'm looking. I'm going to talk to the source of this story and just see if I can get permission or find a way to share it, because oh my God, it's hilarious. Star Wars merchandise is dying the death of 1,000 cuts, and it is richly deserved. And it looks like maybe Disney's merchandise on the whole is going to enjoy that same fate. Or at least I'll enjoy it. They won't. Ha! Thank you, Thomas Manthe. Brad Man with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Brad, who says, I DM'd you on Twitter. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Brad Man. I was very happy to do it. Chris Persia with a $5 Canadian super chat. Hail, Legionnaire Persia, who says, Doomcock and Mary Ashmead are like the song that never ends. Yes, they go on and on, my friend, but in the right way. Aw, thank you. You hear that, Mary? You hear that? I think we're a hit. Thank you, Chris Persia, for that super chat. Very, very kind of you to say, sir. Fan Addicts of Film with a $5 super chat. Hail, you're Xana Doomiers is what you are, Fan Addicts of Film. Thank you, sir. And or sirs, and or madams. Fan Addicts, it implies many. Anyway, Fan Addicts of Film says, filet mignon for all on our aircraft I blew that one. I'm going to try it again. Filet mignon for all on our aircraft carrier, the USS Toxic. Cigars and scotch for everyone. Hear, hear. Girly shows in the back parlor. On good old Super 8 film, Super 8 millimeter film, little Swedish erotica back there as we puff on our cigars and drink our scotch. Yes, yes, manhood is alive on the USS toxic. Love it. And filet mignon. How did you know, fan addicts of film? You've just about described heaven to me. I want to get on there. How do I sign up? I want to steer it to Cuba. Here they have good cigars there. Thank you, fan addicts of film. Bullvine D. Herder with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Bullvine, one again. You have been so generous tonight. And Bullvine De Herder says, drink to the mighty Lord Doomcock and praise that Harvey would purge the unforgiving, like JJ or Disney. Here, Bullvine De Herder, yes. I wish I could trust Harvey to just do some good old-fashioned purging, but he just won't do it. I don't trust him. He'd never get back into the bottle, you know? You'd never get this particular green tentacle genie back into his bottle. So, yeah, I can't trust him. As much as I would like certain outcomes, other outcomes, well, we wouldn't like nearly so much. Bullvine De Herder. But thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Cold Fusion Waffles with a $5 super chat. Oh, hail Cold Fusion Waffles, and thank you. Who says, for Super Chat Roundup Volume 13, Harvey, how dare you? No fresh mashed potatoes on the side. You have revealed your lies, and no drink pairing. For shame. Yeah. Harvey makes up shit about me. Like, I go ahead and I eat steak in front of him, and he's lying, because of course I would have fresh mashed potatoes on the side, garlic mashed potatoes, by God, and I would have a wonderful red wine, a nice dry red wine with that filet mignon. So those details alone, Cold Fusion Waffles, because you're very astute, sir, tells you that Harvey is lying. No, that scenario would never happen. Complete and total balderdash. Thank you, Cold Fusion Waffles, for pointing out the inaccuracies and illogic in Harvey's bullshit account that I torture him eating steak in front of his containment field and not giving him any. What a dick. Bullvine De Herder with another $5 donation to the cause. Bullvine De Herder, sir, you are so damn... Oh, my God. And another one. Two additional donations to the cause from Bullvine De Herder, a $5 one and a $2 one. You, my friend, are very, very generous, Bullvine De Herder. I hope that you're going to hear this Super Chat Square Up. I really do. I will send out messages about it and talk about it on the Inquisition tonight as well, because I really want you guys to enjoy this. I really do. Thank you, Bullvine De Herder. Mark C. with a $5 super chat. Hail, Mark C., who says, if you enjoy Anya, then you will love Lorena McKinnett. I've not heard a lot of Lorena McKinnett, Mark C., but boy, I sure am going to give her a listen. I love Anya. I think that she has one of the most beautiful voices in the history of the world. Got Caribbean Blue and Marbled Halls. God. And of course, her song in Fellowship of the Ring is one of the most hauntingly beautiful things I've ever heard in my life. Mark C., thank you so much for that tip. It looks like I've got some listening to do. Cold Fusion Waffles with the final super chat of the evening, who says, with a $5 super chat, again, says, Xanadu needs a speakeasy, cock after dark. There was more, but dang neon burning out unevenly. Isn't that always the case? There was Doomcock after dark, but now it's just cock after dark because that neon burned out unevenly. Cold Fusion Waffles. Thank you, sir. I agree. We need a Doomcock. I'm going to do that. All of you Xanadumirs out there, be watchful, because some night I'm just going to get on and do Doomcock After Dark, and we're going to have us Doomcock just singing some songs out there. Maybe 2 or 3 people show up. Who knows? But keep an eye out. I've been kind of meaning to do something like this. I get in the mood to sing, and a lot of times I'll just do it alone, in the shower or something. But hell, why not do it for you guys? So look for a pop-up coming your way, maybe even this week. Hail to all of you, my friends. This concludes the Superchat Square Up Volume 13. On behalf of Harvey and myself, I just want to say God bless you guys for all of your support. Thank you so much for your patience. And you guys are the best damn people on YouTube. I am proud to be your overlord, and I am thrilled every time we get a chance to get together. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, my friends, despite my optimistic and joyful words, whenever I think of you or mention you, try to find it within your hearts to always stay angry. Good night, my friends. See you soon.